So this is part 2 of the Sensing for Science kit. And this one, we're going to be sensing temperature. And that's really related to like how fast particles are moving in a substance. So we have 3 different ways to measure temperature, just like we had 2 different ways to measure light. The first is an infrared thermometer. And the way it works is once you press this little trigger button to get it to turn on. And then you'll see, I don't know if you can see, there's going to be a laser. So again, you just want to be careful if you give this to students because they will point it at each other and at each other's eyes. So this may be one that you want to keep yourself. It's decent, but what's really intriguing about this one is there's a lot of student misconceptions because they think that what's happening is the laser is the area that the thermometer is sensing, but it's actually not. So the laser is only showing up in the middle of my hand, but the thermometer is probably actually measuring the entire surface area of my hand to get the temperature. So it's not like as fine detailed as people tend to think it is. But like I'll go to my hand and it says 88.1 compared to my hot coffee, which is 105.9, right? So that's in Fahrenheit. There's a little button that you can switch to Celsius to show them the difference between Fahrenheit and Celsius. They may be more familiar with Fahrenheit, but you might want to talk about how Celsius is a different system of measuring it. And with Celsius, 0 and 100 have a lot more meaning than they do in Fahrenheit. So in Fahrenheit, 0 and 100 don't have a whole lot of meaning. But in Celsius, 0 is freezing and 100 is boiling. And so that helps us like quantify things a little bit better. The next one is a meat thermometer, which they may or may not have seen before. It's basically just a metal probe. And again, because this one has a sharp point, just be careful if you're giving it away to students. These ones are actually really cool paper thermometers. You will see it looks red to distinguish from like mercury thermometers, which have obviously mercury in them and they're not safe. So they're usually not sold anymore. But these ones are pretty helpful. You can actually put them directly into water. Just make sure it's not too hot because there is some plastic around here. But I've used this in my chemistry classroom when it's like lukewarm or room temperature water. And what's cool is that sometimes you'll actually notice more of a difference here than you will over here. Because again, this is taking like a large range of temperatures. It's not just like a fine pinpoint. And so you can have students compare the different ways to measure temperature or measure heat that's transferring between substances based on which sensor is most appropriate for the job that they're trying to do.